音読のリハビリです。これをアドラーのやつ。内容は気にせずに。あれWährend meines Lebens alles während meines Lebens als ärztlicher Berater in Fällen von seelischen Erkrankungen als Psychologe und Erzieher. 何なんだろうこれ。Erzieher. 暗いな。Erzieher in Schule und in Familien hatte stets Gelegenheit, ein ungeheures Menschenmaterial zu überblicken. やっぱドイツ語微妙だな。ドイツ語ちょっともったいないから。やっぱこれするわ。速読英単語必修練。In August of 1771, Joseph Priestley put a small branch of mint into a transparent closed space with a candle, which burned out the air. Burned out the air until it soon went out. After 27 days, he lit the extinguished candle again, and it burned perfectly well. Perfect. なんかノリが大学生の時のサークルの感じの戻ってる気がするな。Perfectly well in the air. That previously would not support it. So Priestley proved that plants somehow change the composition of the air. In another celebrated experiment from 1772, Priestley kept a mouse in a jar of air until it collapsed. He found that a mouse kept with a plant would survive. These kinds of observations led Priestley to offer an interesting theory that plants restore to the air whatever breathing animals and burning candles remove. What was later coined by Lavoisier, oxygen. When she was 36 years old, Agatha Christie left home one foggy night and disappeared. The next morning, her car was found halfway down a grassy bank with its food stuck in the bushes. The police found her fur coat in the car, but there was no sign of her. What they suspected was attempted suicide because her marriage was seriously troubled at the time. Despite extensive police search of the whole area, there were no clues to her whereabouts. But then, 11 days after her disappearance, the head waiter at a hotel in North Yorkshire noticed that one of the female guests looked similar to the newspaper photos of the missing novelist. He rang the police. And her husband rushed to see her. To his surprise, however, Agatha acted like a completely different person and didn't seem to recognize her husband. he thought she had suffered a memory loss due to stress. In fact, it was a distressful instant for Agatha, and was followed by their divorce. But ironically, the incident made her a best-selling novelist. Her next novel, The Big Four, sold 9,000 copies, more than twice as many as any of her previous books. Have you ever thought about what skin does for us? Most of us are aware that skin protects us from liquid, heat, cold, dirt, and bacteria. But that is not its only job. For instance, the skin. The skin is where our bodies make the vitamin D that we need. Another function has to do with the sense of touch. Without that sense, we could not feel any difference between rough and smooth surfaces. Skin can even help us determine if someone is sick. The wrong color, slightly gray or very pale, may be a sign of disease. Skin may reflect a person's mental state too. Unusual sweating, for example, may be a sign that a person is nervous or under stress. もうちょっと楽に喋りたいじゃない、発音して。なんか、だるい。だるさ。わかんねえな。genes. The basic parts of cells, which are passed down from parents to children, may have something to do with human behavior. In an experiment, scientists put flies into a glass tube and placed a light at the end of it. Some of the flies began flying toward the light. Some began walking, and some did not move at all. On the basis of the flies' actions, they were separated into different groups. Flies that love light, flies that like light, and flies that like the dark. The researchers found that these three groups of flies have variations in a particular set of genes. This suggested to the researchers that the variation in these genes might explain the differences in the flies' behaviors. If genes influence behaviors in flies, why not in humans too? 読み方を変えてみたい。ガラガラ声だね、ガラガラ。枯れてる。ハスキーだね。There are many benefits of reading books aloud to young children. First, reading aloud is a wonderful opportunity for parents to spend time in close contact with their children. After a busy day, reading a book can be a relaxing way for a family to slow down and communicate. Another important feature of reading aloud is that many books have thoughtful ideas or moral messages. Parents parents, parents, parents and children can explore these concepts together. In addition, listening to stories helps a child learn vocabulary and sentence structure. Moreover, some researchers believe that reading aloud to a child actually stimulates learning and benefits brain development. Studies have shown that children do better in school when their parents have read to them frequently. Psychologists, doctors, teachers, and librarians encourage parents to read aloud on a regular basis to assist the development of assist あとだここ押さえてみようかな押さえてこうしようかなこれやろうかなThe development of the child and build strong family relationships これ練習なの練習っていうのかなリハビリここねここ押さえるとこういう声なんですよ Every day, millions of people in offices, supermarkets, and factories worldwide hear background music. 別人だよね For most background music, the soundtracks have been carefully selected to change human behavior. According to research, fast music will not change human behavior as much as slow music. Slow music, for instance, will make customers shop more slowly. The longer they shop in a store, the more they will buy. Background music has also been used with great success in many factories. Fast music does not make employees work faster, as some had expected, nor does slow music make them work slower. The main effect of background music is that it reduces work-related stress and helps employees stay interested in the work. This necessarily reduces on-the-job accidents and saves companies money. Next time you hear background music, listen carefully and try to guess which of your behaviors it is trying to change. Chances are that you too are somehow being influenced by background music. ガラガラ声だね。ガラガラ。パウバウたまたまガラガラ。パウバウガラガラたまたまガラガラ。不思議だね。日本語も毎日世界中の職場、スーパーマーケット、そして工場にいる何百万人もの人々がバックグラウンドミュージックを耳にしている。大部分のバックグラウンドミュージックの場合、人間の行動を変化させる目的でサウンドトラックは注意深く選ばれている。てかさ、結局さ、気分を良くしていけばいいのかな。気分を良くしていく。で、気分って自分で選んでる感じだから、かなりの部分が。なんで、気分よく生きていけば、全体的になんか、良い方向に進んでいくのかな、とか思っちゃった。そんな気もしないでもない、本当に。それならそれでもうそういう感じでいきたいんだけど、気分よく、楽しく、だわ、それでいい
知ってるこれ。カイジのさ、賭博打天力カイジのさ、アナウンスの、まあ真似してる人がいて、カイジ芸人。そいつが、だわそれでいい笑えるなぁ。笑えることやりたいな。15分経ったんで、切ります。